Hey guys, Alex here, otherwise known as Clash Royale. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at yet another incredibly strong Townhall 11 strategy, which is Zap GoWitch with a log launcher, the new siege machine that came to Townhall 13 in the previous update. So if you guys haven't checked out already, I did a video very similar to this not too long ago involving it. I think it was Zap GoWitch. So it had bowlers involved rather than just golems and witches, and we also came in that one with a siege barrack. So we're mixing up a little bit here. We're kind of getting rid of the bowlers, we're fading them out a little bit to bring in more witches alongside that log launcher. So if you guys are enjoying these videos, make sure you drop a like on the video. Let me know in the comments if you have any different town halls you'd like me guys to cover content from, or if you've got any specific strategies you would like me to look at. I'm always open to more ideas and suggestions. But without any further ado, let's stop waffling and jump in and check out some of the action. Alright, so the first attack we are going to be taking a look at does come in from Axis, who is another content creator. She streams and she does YouTube. I will try and leave a link to her YouTube and her Twitch in the description below, so make sure you guys jump in and check her out. So the first example we have here of this Townhall 11 GoWitch strategy actually does come in with bowlers, so very similar to that one that we were looking at previously. This is the only one I'll be showcasing today that does have bowlers in it, so it shows there is a little bit of leniency when it does come to this strategy, but the strategy itself is very simple. You can see Axis deciding here, interestingly enough, to just start off by pushing everything in. It's really interesting to me that Axis hasn't already zapped. She now brings in those zap spells on either one of those Inferno Towers, leaving it pretty late on this attack, but it didn't really make too much difference. The Inferno Tower at the top only did a little bit of damage onto our golem, didn't do too much. We've now got a decent core of troops pushing into the middle of the base, of course, using that poison spell, very similar to the or in fact exactly the same as what we used in that previous attack strategy video, where we drop it down on the clan kills troops almost as soon as they come out. We definitely don't want our troops to take too much damage. Now, the difference here from using the siege barracks to the log launcher is the log launcher will open up all of these wall sections, but you need to be careful when it comes to your pathing. That log launcher will take out defenses pretty quickly with those logs, especially a max level log launcher, so you do need to watch out in case they take out enough buildings that your troops end up not having anything to target in the middle, and then they might walk around the outside, which is kind of what happened to Axis ever so slightly here. You can see that log launcher did so much damage. He ended up getting a lot she ended up getting a lot of troops walking down and around the bottom section of the base, but it didn't end up causing too many issues. Both the Inferno Towers, you can see, were zapped down, so they were out of the way, and we just had a nice channel to walk right through this base. We did use bowlers coming out of that log launcher for eventually when it burst. We also dropped down a rage spell for them. So, you know, you can mix it up with the siege barracks. We had the Hog Rider swinging around the back end with the heal spell. With this example, we had bowlers and a rage spell coming out of the log launcher. So it is up to interpretation to decide what exactly you guys are wanting to do. Like I said, the option is there for the log launcher and it is there for the siege barracks, but maybe just look at the base and think, will the Hog Riders get more value? Do I need extra beef from the siege barracks troops, or do I need a log launcher to get right into the middle and get that clump of bowlers in there? But without any further ado, we'll jump in and we'll check out the next example, which I don't think has any bowlers in it. It might have some coming out the log launchers, but not too many. So let's jump in and check that one out. Alright, so the next example we are going to be taking a look at comes in here from Devil Dog, and you can see we don't have any bowlers in this composition, just coming in with 13 witches. Going to be dropping down the zap spells and those earthquake spells, of course, on those Inferno Towers, trying to get as much value from those zaps as we possibly can. Unfortunately, you can't quite take down those expos with the zaps and the earthquakes, but you can get a little bit of health at least chipped off them. And then you can see Devil Dog doing exactly what this strategy requires. We'll pause it there for a second because this setup is absolutely beautiful, exactly as it should be done. We've got the golems, a really nice split. The golems, of course, are just big meat shields. They are going to be used to tank up all of those defenses. We've got one up here at the top of the base currently tanking for a huge array of defenses, one chilling right in the middle. That is going to be tanking primarily for this log launcher as it pushes its way in, and then one down on the bottom section, again tanking all these defenses, allowing those witches to chip everything down. So you want a nice split on the witches. You can see we drop down, it looks like 4 or 5 on the right, 4 or 5 on the bottom, and then the rest of them are going to be pushed right behind this log launcher, hopefully up right through the core of the base. But again, looking at the funnel, it's been created so incredibly well because we have got rid of those inferno towers. Now there is a little bit of a risk that we might not get enough troops into this kind of compartment here because the base doesn't have that much. You can see there's a lot that might make these troops walk around the outside, but we should have bowlers coming out, I would assume, of this log launcher, which will be able to do quite a little bit of work in the middle of the base. But again, a slight change on the spell composition here. We had heal spells in the siege barrack videos. We then had a rage spell for the first attack in Axis's attack, and now we have a jump spell from Devil Dog. So maybe he doesn't think this log launcher is going to go far enough, but we'll let this play out and we will see how far this log launcher is able to make it. Now you need to remember that the log launcher will act exactly the same as a wall wrecker. It will target that town hall, so you need to make sure it passes exactly where you want it to. From wherever you put it down, it will go in a straight line, a beeline, right in towards that town hall compartment. And remember, it's got the health like the siege barracks. Its health will slowly deteriorate over time, and it is going to burst there where we actually have yetis and an ice golem coming out of that. So as predicted, if we pause it there, we really don't have much going into the middle of the base, which is a little bit of an issue here. But we have our king, our queen, a yeti, and the ice golem, and then we have a huge group of witches pushing around either side of the base. You can see, look at the group we've got at the top, look at the group we've got at the bottom, the ones at the bottom supported by that Grand Warden. The poison spell is going to be used there for the super minions rather than the main group of minions. Now those super minions can be lethal, especially against your heroes. You can see it took down our king very, very quickly there, and this attack is starting to look a little bit ropey in the middle because we just didn't have that many troops really pushing their way through into the center of the base. But the ice golem's going to freeze everything up there right on cue, and that is really going to allow this queen to just sit back and chip away at all these defenses, finally clean out all of those clan castle troops. And as we zoom out, you can see these witches have absolutely annihilated the top and the bottom sections of the base, and suddenly this base is absolutely crushed. There is no way that the lion here stood any chance at defending with just the sheer amount of witches we had pushing on through this base, absolutely destroying it on the back end. And that just shows, even if you don't get a funnel as set as you would have liked, you don't get enough troops going into the middle, as long as you can take down the clan castle troops, you can maybe take down the eagle artillery, a couple of key defenses, it's going to be absolutely crushed because the Inferno Towers are out the way. You don't have the splash from the multis. You don't have the direct damage from the singles. It's just easy, and it really helps on this style of base for the funneling as well. So we've got a couple more examples of this strategy in action. So let's jump out and go and check those ones out. Devil Dog brings in this next one, very, very similar to that previous one. Again, going to be bringing a jump spell here. That's going to be used on the back end. For me personally, I don't think the jump spell is really worth it. I would much prefer probably to bring a rage spell or maybe even a heal spell. But I guess it's total preference, personal preference, whatever you think is best. And Devil Dog obviously really likes using that jump spell for the back end, so that's what he decides to roll with. But you can see he brings in again a really nice golem split here, one on the right, one on the left, and one at the top. Now these Town Hall 11 bases that I've been showcasing in this video and the previous one, you guys will see these all the time in regular war spins. Not so much in any league play because, you know, people in league play will have custom made bases, but these bases are used over and over and over again in regular spins because they do defend relatively well, but against this new strategy that is the GoWitch and the GoWitch with those zap spells, it just doesn't stand a chance anymore. But Devil Dog, you can see he's got a nice split again. He's got a good core of troops this time, pushing into the middle of the base, and there is still quite a lot to get through on the back end. He's going to be bringing in that jump spell actually to allow the troops over that left hand wall compartment. Going to continue pushing on through. They're going to jump over. There is a Tesla farm in there to try and deal with. That is going to do a little bit of damage, but again, we have those witches that kind of swept around the outsides of the base, and it means that as we push to the end of this attack, everything kind of merges together and it swarms the back end. Now this one maybe a little bit closer than I would have anticipated. We lost quite a lot of troops there at the start, maybe slightly late on the Grand Warden ability. Very nice trap placement as well. You can see doing some damage onto these witches as they make their way along the outside of the base, but we do still have that Queen ability in hand, and this ends up being absolutely crushed, even with losing a significant amount of troops quite early on. So I'm just going to keep repeating myself. This attack is absolutely insane at Town Hall 11, and it's so easy to execute. You zap down the Inferno Towers, 4 zaps, 1 Quake, that will take down the Inferno Towers. You then focus in on the main attack. You get a nice golem split, 1, 2, 3. You put in those witches, you put in the log launcher, drop in both your heroes, and then the Grand Warden in behind, and you will crush so many bases using it. We've got one more example of this attack strategy in action, so let's jump on over and take a look at it. So the last example we are going to be taking a look at comes in here from Anti-Lock, who does bring in a slight different variation again on this strategy. You can see actually we've got some of those ice wizards, the seasonal troop, going to be swinging in here. So losing a couple of witches, but deciding that those ice wizards are going to be worth it. So we drop down the zap spells there. We're going to drop down the earthquake. It, like I said, it unfortunately doesn't quite take down those expos, but it does get them down to incredibly low health. So even just getting that chip damage onto them means a couple of bounces, a couple of shots from any of our troops will be able to take them down. I'm saying bounces there because I'm forgetting it. I was thinking there was bowlers in this attack, but of course that was in the previous one. As I said, make sure you guys go and check out that video as well. But Anti-Lock got a very, very wide golem split here, so you can see we've got a golem all the way over here on this left hand side, 1 golem tanking for the log launcher, which is vital. You do not want that log launcher to take any damage at all, because its damage or its hit points are already chipping down like the siege barracks, so if it takes any more damage it's going to burst far too early. We've also got a golem over here on that right hand side doing a great job. Now we are pushing opposite Town Hall side, which is always a little bit of a risk, but that's what you need to do with this attack, because that log launcher has to be able to go for as far as possible to get the value that we need here. But you can see it does burst open these walls. 2 logs from one of these log launchers is enough, I believe, to open up the wall sections. Maybe it's 3 logs actually, but they are absolutely sweeping through this base. Look how quickly that log launcher goes to work, and it is going to be able to chip down this Eagle Artillery from really far distance. It's actually going to be able to take it down before anything else gets in range. There's that Grand Warden ability that's going to be used to tank through those Eagle Artillery shots. And Anti-Lock here, actually, rather than having the Yetis coming out of that siege barracks, decides to come in with the Hog Riders. So the Hog Riders split off from the pack there, and they're actually going to go into the outside of the base and start cleaning down some of these defenses. Jump spell is going to be used really smart here to bring that jump spell on the back end. That is going to be used to open up this compartment and give us a way in to these expos, these Teslas, these wizard towers, some of the main defenses here on the back end, and our troops can absolutely tear through them. Now unfortunately here for Anti-Lock, we did lose a lot of those witches on the left and on the right hand side. So unlike the previous attack where we had the troops all swarming together and meeting at the end, we're only having those troops in the middle that ended up pushing through. We're relying very, very heavily here on our queen and a couple of witches to clutch up for this attack. But there is, I think, just enough here for Anti-Lock to bring this one home. We've got a couple of cleanup troops, a couple of archers swinging in from that left-hand side with a few skeletons scattered in the mix as well. But there's an absolute swarm of those skeletons, and somehow that expo still manages to target our queen, but we have her ability, which is going to be burst right there, and it's just going to be enough here to sneak through the back end of this attack and bring in yet another incredibly strong triple using this strategy. You can see 9 seconds left on the clock, couple last buildings to take down, and that is us. So if you guys have been enjoying these strategy videos, make sure you leave a like. You know, tell your friends about it as well. This strategy is absolutely crushing every single base at Town Hall 11 right now. As I keep saying in all my videos, if you guys do have any suggestions of other attack strategies you would like me to cover, or other town halls you think I should maybe have a look at, let me know in the comments, or you guys can always hit me up on Twitter, on Discord. I'm always kicking about on there. But yeah, really appreciate you guys, and I will catch you in the next video, whenever that's going to be. Peace.